Hi everybody, this is Doreen from Privies and Prims. This is a cross stitch channel and punch needle and sometimes wool applique and quilting. And today I am going to show you three different ones of those. I have some cross stitch finishes, some punch needle finishes, and a quilting finish. So I am filming from my bedroom today because if you've been following me, you know about the stained glass window out in the living room area. And today it's really bright on the exact part of where I would be sitting normally. So I'm in here with no overhead light because if I put that on, it's like really bright and washes me out. So hopefully you can see everything real good. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is a couple punch needle finishes. Now I made these for a shop owner. I don't know if they're going to be shop models or not, but these are Teresa Kogut patterns. And the first one is Spooked Sam. And let me try to turn this. You see, I mean, it just washes me out, but maybe you can see these better. So that is a Teresa Kogut pattern, and this is the finish right here. So I just did the punching for her, and then I turned back the edges about a ½ inch, and I hot glue this down. And when I cut the corners, I cut, you know, at an angle, so I just fold that little part up and hot glue it. So that is that finish, and this is this one is all Valdani thread. And then the second one is Candy Corn Kitty. And this is also Teresa Kogut. And this is the finish for that one. So this one has Weeks Dye Works, and this is what the pattern calls for. Everything is what the pattern called for, except this background is Valdani Pearl Cotton, and you can see it is variegated, and it gives it a better background, so it's not just boring and one solid color. So that is that one. And again, that is the pattern right there. And I had a tag in there. Okay. That is it for the punch needle. There is a whole playlist on my YouTube channel for punch needle how-to, and then there's a whole playlist for just anything that's punch needle. So if you're interested in seeing more of that, definitely go over there. There's a lot of tutorials. What you would do is go to my YouTube homepage, and at the top it'll say home, videos, and playlists, and you look at the playlists. And by the way, whenever you go to check out somebody's YouTube channel, never go by what you see on the home page. You always want to click on videos, and that will show you all of their videos. The home page does not. So keep that in mind. So if you are here for cross stitch, that is next. And two of these are Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and I did not pull the pattern out. Let me go get that. Okay, this is my working copy. This is the pattern, O Tannenbaum. And as I point, you're going to notice my nails are in really bad shape. I am in the midst of redoing a little dresser, and I'll show that later. But I just wanted to make this video before I forget. So I did this one and this one and decided I did not want to do the rest. So instead of putting them in a box like this, I just made other things with them. So this is my Santa, and this is an old cheese grater. So I took the pip berries and just put them through the holes here, and I cut any berries off that would be under this fabric, and then I hot glued this onto the grater. I hand stitched the cross stitch fabric onto a piece of wool, and then I hot glued that onto the metal here. And this is also got some hot glue underneath it there. So that is, and I did have to antique this a little bit because it had, it was bright red. So there is that. And the only thing I don't care for about this is his face blends right in with his beard. And I probably should have backstitched that so that you could tell the difference and see it better. And then the other one that I did from that pattern. It's this one. I did backstitch around the sheep's face because it blended in and you couldn't see it. So I took some overdyed thread and backstitched that. And I don't remember the fabric I used. It is the called for fabric, so I'm going to look that up. Picture This Plus Legacy 36 count. And I don't remember if I changed colors or not, but if you're interested, I can tell you. I have not done anything to the back yet. I have to put a piece of wool over that, but that's the fabric I used. And then this is a piece of green overdyed wool, which you don't really see all the overdyed part because it's covered. And then I blanket stitched this to the wool, and then I did just a little running stitch to stitch the green wool to the pillow, and it's stuffed with fiberfill. And I love that sheep. I just wish it showed up better. I should probably try to do it on a darker fabric. Maybe just the sheep. That would be fun. Okay, the third one is a Teresa Kogut, and I find the pattern. I would say find it. Let me go get it. Okay, it is in my cabinet, and I didn't find it right away, so I'll just insert a picture of it. This is part of a Teresa Kogut pattern, and it's just a little snowman, and I don't even remember the name of the pattern. I should have cut this red wool bigger, as you can see, because you can't even see it from the front. And then when I sewed it, of course, it's completely hidden, and I have to put a piece of wool back here to cover the opening. That's how I stuff it. This is stuffed with crushed walnut shells, and I am not sure of the linen that is stitched on, but there is a close-up of him. I did backstitch the star because you couldn't see it. It's kind of a goldish color, but it blended right in, so I backstitched that. And I just love him. He's so cute. I just wish the red was wider, and I could take it apart and redo it, but I'm not going to. It's fine the way it is, and it's real heavy like a sandbag because it's stuffed with the crushed walnut shells. So those are my cross stitch finishes. The stitching was already done. I just decided yesterday to do a finishing day, and so I did all of those. Now, recently, I did go to Sassy Jack's Stitchery. Some nice ladies at my retreat gave me a gift card, and I purchased this pattern. And this is with the needle and thread. It's called Baltimore Salt Box. I think I'm going to do it on a darker fabric, though. Something that looks more grungy. And it calls for mushroom Lugana, 28 count mushroom Lugana, which I won't be using that. I'll be using linen. But I love that pattern. And I did also get some threads and used up my gift card. So I will show you what I'm working on now. Let me see. So this is the pattern I am working on. And it is also with the needle and thread. And it says, all my scattering moments are taken up with my needle. And it's called Needleworker's Sampler. And I will show you my progress. This is how much I have done. So I got a lot done on that. And this is Picture This Plus Sand 36 count. And I am stitching 1/2. You can't see what you're seeing. And I always stitch 1/2 almost all the time. That's just what I prefer. I did change some colors. So these are different colors of blue, and they were supposed to be pink. And these lines were supposed to be a pinkish color, and I used tobacco weeks. Oh, okay. There's supposed to be sage, I think, and I used Weeks Dye Works Tobacco Road. So I did change some colors, but I really like this. It's very soft. I am going to change the house. This house has a lot of fancy stuff on the front, and I'm just going to do a plain saltbox house. I haven't found one yet because I haven't looked yet. but I will when I get to the house part. And then I started another one. And this is Asbury's Echoes. It's called She Seeketh Wool. And this is actually a little box that you get from Hobby Lobby. And then inside it, let me see if there's a picture of what goes inside. Okay, it's going to be hard to see because it's really small. But that's the inside. So it has like a little, this is stitched here. There's a little pin cushion or needle book that goes in it. So that shows the needle book here, and that's the inside of it. And it's teeny tiny. So I am going to stitch those. So I did get the box, and I'm going to paint the box. And this is what I have done so far here. Just the words. This is Picture This plus Legacy 36 count. And that, of course, was easy because it was just words. So that is that whip, which is work in progress. And that is it for the cross stitch. So now I'm going to show you some quilting stuff. I belong to a local quilt guild, and they are doing each year, they give, if you want to participate, they give everybody a piece of the same fabric for Christmas fabric. And then you have to make a 12.5-inch square, any 12.5-inch block, any block design that you want to, but you have to include this fabric. So this is the fabric that they handed out. And the background has to be white, which I jokingly said I was going to coffee stain mine. And she said, no, it has to be white. So I did have some white that is white on white. And I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to get it. It's got little flowers, or I think it's like leaves on there. Anyway, so that will be the background. So we'll put that together. And then to prim it up some, I'm going to use that because there's so many shades of green in there. And some dark red, which is darker than what it shows on the camera. It's really a dark barn red. So those will be my colors of my block. And I think I am going to do this block, which I got online for free. Only instead of 2 colors, I am going to use 4 colors. So this will be the white background. And I actually need to write my thoughts on there. This will be the white background. This will be the Christmas fabric that they gave me. And then probably 2 of these will be the red and 2 of them will be the green. Or maybe red, green, red, green. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I found this website and I did not write it down on here, and I should have, but if I get it, I will put it across the screen. And it has a whole bunch of different kinds of blocks that are all come out to 12.5-inch unfinished. And you just pick which block you want and then you print it out for free. There was no joining, no signing up for anything. That was it. So that was great. And then my latest quilt, this is number 8. I am totally new. This is a table runner from my mom at her assisted living apartment. So it doesn't have the teeny tiny squares and pieces. These are 4-inch squares right here. And the fabrics, I'll show you close up. That's a good fall fabric. And then this one has words on it like thankful. You see. Thankful, grateful, autumn, harvest, gather, give thanks, things like that. It's almost like a little bit of a glittery. And then these are the prim fabrics here. And the back is a dark brown, which is, I think it's either Kansas Troubles Quilters or Primitive Gatherings, but I think there's a string. I think it's Kansas Troubles, so that is that. So that is quilt number 8. I'm dropping things on the floor. And then I purchased this pattern here because I absolutely loved it. It is more applique that I'm going to learn how to do. And I may use wool again like I did on my last one with the pumpkins. But that is Snuggles Quilts. And 40 by 40. So that I have not made one that big yet. Snugglesquilts.com is the website there. And I think it was $5, but I'm not sure. Oh, the table runner is this pattern, and it was free online. Obviously, I changed the colors. But if you go to allpeoplequilt.com and the free patterns, and if you put in like table runners as a category, you'll get all kinds of them. I wanted something really quick, and I actually was so proud of myself. I did that in one day, from start to finish, that table runner in one day. So definitely check out allpeoplequilt.com. Tons of free patterns on there. And then I will show you my working copy of, I'm going to do the Christmas block first because I'm going to be moving. And then when my mom's house sells, I have to do her estate sale, and things are going to get really busy. And what we have to do is make the block and turn it in our Christmas luncheon. And I don't want to get so busy that I forget. So I'm going to do that first. So that's finished. And also these items, the cross stitch things that I finished. One of those will be my small swap for my Christmas retreat, which I do still have opening. So check Facebook page, Privies and Prims, and go to events page, and you'll see all the details there. But since I'm going to be moving back to Tennessee, back to the same apartment complex where I lived at before, my apartment should be ready. They said they're shooting for next week, but should definitely be done by the end of the month. This is what I want to make. And it's called Home Again. And I really like this Kim Deal pattern. And it is from the Simple Whatnots book, the first Simple Whatnots book. I have other ones, but this is from the first one. And I love that. I thought it was very fitting since I will be moving. So if you ever, there's another picture of it. So if you feel intimidated by quilting like I did, I'm just going to show you like part of this. Part of this you can see online when you do a book preview. But it's very detailed, the directions, and they give you pictures and step by step. So, you know, it just makes it easier. Yeah. So, and then like at the end, they show you how to piece it together. So it's not as hard as it looks. And it's kind of like, I've got my mind set to, you know, they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Well, it's like, how do you make the quilt? One block at a time. And then you put the blocks together. So it's not so overwhelming, intimidating when you look at it that way. So I did get a bunch of fabric. I forgot to talk on the last video. Some of us from my local quilt guild went to a quilt show in Maggie Valley, and I got some things there. And then we went to Sister's Quilts in Maggie Valley. It's a quilt store, and she was having a sale, and she has an annual sale. So I'll show you this. This is my haul, and it really did not cost that much. But you know, things were really marked down, and this is like 3/4 of a yard for $2.25. And it's all Moda. This is Kansas Trouble Quilters. So I won't look up every single one, but I'm just going to show you what I got. Some of them are small pieces. It's like 1/4 yard, 75 cents. And again, they are all Moda because that's all she sells. This is 1 1/8 for $3.38. And she has this sale every year. I'm not sure if it was September or October, This was a half a yard for $1.50. 3/8 for $1.13. Not sure how that came out. A half a yard for $1.50. So I am set for fabric. This is a 30 yard for 99 cents. That one does not. Oh, this was a fat quarter. I forget how much. I forget what the fat quarters. Maybe $2, I think. Okay, this is 3/8 for $1.13. This was a quarter yard for 75 cents. This one was 2 yards for $6. 1 1/8 for $3.38. I think you'll agree by now these are fantastic prices. And this was 1 yard, which I think was $3. And then these were free in the free box. I got that one from Thimbleberries. And At Home with Thimbleberry Quilts. And these were free. Friendship Strips and Scraps for Laundry Basket Quilts. Fancy Baskets. This is Thimbleberries also, and it's just a folder thing there. And then at the quilt show, they had like kind of yard sale tables and Primitive Quilts and Projects magazines. There's 2 in the pack, and I have a bunch of these magazines, but I didn't know which ones I had and which ones I didn't. The prices aren't on here, but I think they were $2 for 2 of them, so for 2 magazines. So I got 2 packs of those. And then at Sisters Quilts, this was in the little free box. So just little tiny, put little things in. So I got that. That was my haul there. And then at the end of the video, I will put pictures of the quilts that we saw at the quilt show. And I think that is everything, except I did get a new toy. So let me get that and show you. This is my new toy. Look at that. So that is an antique Singer Featherweight. 221 is the model. And a friend sold me this. There's the back. And then this part flips up. And I have the carrying case. I have not tried it yet. I need to clean it, make sure. I need to check with her and see if it needs oiling. But I haven't tried it yet. But I got that to take with me, like when I go to sewing days or, different things outside of the house. I don't think I will be using it at home. But then after reading some things online, I saw some forums that people were saying that they have like their expensive Berninas sitting behind this because they like the way this stitches for their quilts. So I will see all that. And I've had it since Tuesday and today is Saturday. And I just got it out of my car yesterday. So I really need to try that out, get it all cleaned up, and get sewing with it. So maybe I'll make my Christmas block with that today. So I think that's it. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you a tip for Punchneedle. And I'm going to also show you pictures from the quilt show that we went to. And just a little life update. My mom is back in the hospital. She's 91. She has MRSA pneumonia, which is really serious. And she is not feeling sick really at all. She's just out of breath. And she had moved to assisted living 3 weeks ago. She loves it there. And she got up the other day and had trouble breathing. So they checked her oxygen was really low. She was out of breath. So they took her to the hospital. And she's getting excellent care and more tests than they ever did at the hospital in North Carolina. And so we think she's got excellent care. And then this morning, infectious disease people were there to check her. And so we don't know when she'll get to go home back to her assisted living. It's going to depend on what those people say. I think the doctors are leaving it up to the infectious disease people to say when she can go home, because back to her assisted living, because of course she can't be contagious. So right now she's in isolation. You have to wear a gown and a mask to go in. So I am staying away because I have a lot of stuff to do here and I can't get sick with me moving in a couple weeks. So I'm not going to risk that. But she's doing great. She feels fine. She's just weak. She's not coughing or anything. But they are taking excellent care of her. So keep her in your prayers. And I think that's everything. So stay tuned for the video and the pictures of the quilts. And I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hello, everybody. So I just wanted to show you something I do for Punchneedle. I just took this off of my gripper frame, and if you can see, it's a little bowed, like where it's kind of puffy. It doesn't lay flat. I'm not sure how else to explain it, but I just take a thin washcloth and I wet it under the faucet, and then I squeeze the water out. I'm holding the phone with my hand. We're going to try to do this. So then I have iron. It's on the highest setting. And I'm just going to put it on there. You can hear it sizzle. I don't iron back and forth. I just hold it in place. Make sure I get all the sides. And you can see it, the shape of it there. And then I take this off. Much flatter now. And then I also do the back. And I might try to find like a spot on the rag that is still pretty wet, or you can wet it again, because it does take a lot of the moisture out when you do this out of the rag, so you might want to wet it again. And this is how I steam it. So now it's very flat. I'll let that dry overnight. Then I'm going to cut probably a 1/2 inch here all the way around. That will get folded back and then hot glued, and it will be on a board. So I made this, and hold on, let me grab this other one and this one. They're both Teresa Kogut patterns, and I made them for a shop owner. I think they're going to be shop models, but I'm not sure. Here's the pattern for this one. So that is your tip for Punchneedle embroidery.